Have you ever finally gotten something you desperately wanted and still felt empty? The promotion, the money, the relationship, the recognition. You thought, once I have this, I'll finally be happy. But then you got it, and somehow the emptiness remained. Why? Because sometimes the very thing you're chasing is the thing keeping you from peace. A young man once lived in a small village surrounded by hills and olive trees. Everyone knew him for one thing. He was obsessed with becoming successful. Every morning before the sun rose, he was already working. Every night, long after everyone else slept, he was still planning. He wasn't lazy or foolish. In fact, he worked harder than almost everyone around him. But there was a problem. No matter how much he achieved, he was never satisfied. When he earned his first gold coin, he wanted 10. When he earned 10, he wanted 100. When he earned 100, he wanted 1,000. Every time he reached a goal, happiness lasted only a few days before the emptiness returned. Years passed, his wealth grew, and so did his reputation, but peace never came. One evening, while traveling through the mountains, he became lost. As the sun set and darkness covered the path, he noticed a small cabin in the distance. An old man lived there alone. The old man welcomed him inside, gave him food, and offered him a warm place to rest. As they sat near the fire, the old man asked, "Why do you look so tired?" The young man laughed. "Tired? I have everything. I own land, I have money, and people respect me." The old man smiled and quietly replied, "That's not what I asked." The room fell silent. For the first time, the young man didn't know what to say, because deep down, he knew the old man was right. He was exhausted, not physically, but spiritually and emotionally. The old man stood up, walked to a shelf, and placed 2 cups on the table. One was made of gold, beautiful and expensive. The other was a simple clay cup, plain and ordinary. He filled both with water and said, "Drink." The young man drank from the golden cup and then from the clay cup. The water tasted exactly the same. The old man smiled and asked, "Which water satisfied your thirst?" Confused, the young man replied, "Both." The old man nodded. "Exactly. Most people spend their lives chasing the cup while forgetting the water." The words struck him like lightning. The old man continued, "You've spent years chasing status, money, and recognition, but none of those things were ever meant to satisfy your soul." The young man sat quietly, listening. The fire crackled softly in the background while the wind moved through the trees outside. For the first time in years, he began to see his life differently. The old man pointed toward the window. Outside stood a donkey carrying bags of gold, bent under the weight and clearly exhausted. "Many people live exactly like that donkey," he said. "They carry more and more without asking whether they were meant to carry it." The young man's heart sank because he saw himself. Every achievement, every goal, every endless chase had become another burden rather than a blessing. Looking toward the stars, the old man said, "Jesus asked a question many people still ignore. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?" The young man lowered his eyes because suddenly he understood. His problem wasn't money. Money wasn't evil, and success wasn't evil. The problem was that he expected those things to do what only God could do. He expected them to provide meaning, purpose, peace, and identity, but they never could. The old man smiled gently and shared one final lesson. When God is not first, nothing is enough. But when God is first, even little becomes enough. That night, the young man couldn't sleep. He sat beneath the stars, thinking about everything he had spent years chasing. For the first time, he asked a different question. Not, "How can I get more?" but, "Why am I so afraid of having less?" The answer changed him because he realized he wasn't really chasing success. He was chasing significance. He was trying to fill a spiritual emptiness with temporary things, and that never works. When morning came, he thanked the old man and continued his journey. His work remained, his goals remained, his responsibilities remained, but his heart had changed. He finally understood something most people never learn. Peace is not found at the end of achievement. Peace is found in the presence of God. The moment he stopped worshiping success, he finally started enjoying life. So if you feel empty today, even after achieving things you once prayed for, ask yourself honestly, are you chasing the cup or the water? Money can buy comfort, success can buy attention, but neither can buy peace. Only God can fill the space He created for Himself. Stop chasing what can never satisfy and start seeking the one who can.